Howdy, and welcome to the Choose a Happy Day show, a podcast for women who want to up-level their life, manifest those dreams, and just live happier. If you have vision boards, love energy work, are into psychics, and feel you are meant for something more in this life, then this show is for you. Hi, I'm Lorraine Toth, an award-winning filmmaker, author, Reiki master, photographer, and creative genius who also loves to vision board. And I am here to bring you all of the tips and tricks to help you up-level your life. Now let's go and hop on that happy train. Welcome to the Choose a Happy Day show. Today I have a special guest, is Nick Carbuto. Yeah.
Beautiful. Perfect. Carbuto was fine. It's the American version of Italian name.
Yes. So Nick, I met Nick, 2 years ago now?
Ooh, yeah. A while ago.
Yeah.
I came to you for photos.
Yes. And then we nailed the photos, and then I don't know why I came back. I needed psychic guidance, I guess.
Sure.
Is that how we got there?
Well, we manifested each other.
We manifested each other.
Of course.
So Nick is also an intuitive medium. Most people call you a psychic, right? Yeah.
Intuitive.
Intuitive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that really more applicable for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've had 2 readings from Nick, intuitive readings. And the last one is actually why I'm here. So I feel like you're responsible for this whole thing.
Okay. Well, I was just reading your soul. So your soul said to me, oh, she needs to do this. So, okay, that's why.
Yes, it did. So you told me on April 10th that I have the platform and I needed to do this. So you gave me a psychic reading, and here I am with a podcast.
Yeah.
Does that happen for a lot of people?
No, this is wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You listened to your soul. And
I did.
You followed through.
I did.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today I wanted you to help others, and
Sure.
I have a list of questions for you.
Okay.
And
I'll
I'm
do my
ready.
best.
Yes. I'm ready to talk about manifesting because
Okay.
clearly you helped me manifest the show to help others.
Okay.
So my first question for you was the mechanics of manifesting. Like, what are 4 tricks or tools
Okay.
that our listeners can do
Okay.
to manifest?
I think it's important to start out, though, with the fact that all matter, and I'm going to get very, very metaphysical on you, all matter, whether we perceive it as physical or non-physical, is made up of energy, frequency, and vibration. So that's where I think every talking point that we'll have today will come down to that.
Energy.
Energy.
It's all about energy.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's nothing separate about you and I. There's nothing separate about this table from me or this microphone from me. It just vibrates at a lower vibration because it's seemingly solid.
Yes.
But if we took this table and broke it down to its atoms and molecules, we're made of the same stuff.
Okay.
So when I do my work, I connect on an energetic level. So when I sit down with my clients and with my sound healing, I do group events as well. I am basically asking spirit to energetically connect with the person I'm sitting with, or the person or the people I'm working with in a group setting. So as far as manifestation goes, our thoughts are energy and frequency and vibration.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, I see it as, my analogy is that I think of thoughts as clouds. Okay, and I picture clouds when I say, I don't know, I'll pick one of my affirmations.
Oh yes, he has a list of affirmations.
So I have 3 pages of affirmations actually. So one of them is a much greater version of me is on the horizon.
Ooh.
So when I recite that, every molecule, every part of me is reacting to that and setting in motion, all the factors that can make that happen. So when we think of like the weather patterns, you think of, well, how is weather patterns formed? Well, you have a low pressure and a high pressure, and they meet, and you have storms, you have rain, or high pressure creates beautiful sunshine and no clouds, and low pressure creates whatever.
The
Okay,
storm clouds, right?
storm
Yeah.
clouds.
Okay.
So I think of my thoughts as sending out like a cloud. And then people's energy will be attracted to, and because we always talk about the law of attraction, will be attracted to that vibration or that cloud. And then clouds form, and then things just happen. I'm not sure the exact, quantum physical, explanation of that, but I just know that those things attract. When I put out an intention of the best version, the greatest, much greater version of me is on the horizon, I'm asking spirit, I'm asking the universe to attract to that intention and make it happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Through energy. So is that something they can say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I always follow up my my intentions or affirmations with, this is my belief and this is my reality.
Ah.
So I'm not only convincing myself, I'm convincing basically I'm a soul that's manifesting as an energy form known as Nick Carbuto, that we call Nick Carbuto.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm asking my soul to actually create the situations that will make that happen.
Ah. So they can do this themselves, right?
Absolutely.
They don't need to go to like
No, you don't need to go they don't need to go to an ashram in India to make this happen. This is it used to be this way. I mean, I've got a few years on you. Just a few. But back in my day, in the late 60s, early 70s, that's if you want to be enlightened, you had to go somewhere to an ashram and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff and all that kind of woo-woo kind of stuff. Well, that's not a little woo-woo. It's because science and quantum physics are proving that we are our energy beings.
yes.
We're beings of energy. That's what we are. We're energy.
Mm-hmm. And manifesting is just, it's kind of, your brain doesn't know, right? If it's real.
It's manipulating energy.
Okay. So we can do this.
So I do that with my own affirmations. I do that with my individual clients because I work with energy, a Reiki practitioner and sound healer. I do that in my group activities as well. So I think it's important to understand that it's kind of like a dance we do with people, with the universe, more like it. So we are, we put out an intention, someone's energy picks up on it, and we kind of do this like, okay, well, all right, I'll go to the store and I'm going to go and all of a sudden I'll meet up with Nick Carbuto and we say, oh, what a coincidence! I ran into so and so. No,
it's not.
No, because they picked up, whether consciously or unconsciously, and more times than not, it's unconsciously, on going to the store. And I need this, and all of a sudden, boom, Nick Carbuto's there. We're like, okay, oh, how you doing? I haven't seen you.
Just thinking about you, right?
Right.
Like that. Yeah.
Right. Or you pick up a phone and you're ready to text someone, they text you. It's the same thing. It's the same principle.
All right. So for our single listeners, then they want to meet their soulmate. What do? Do they put out that intention to the universe and say, "Hey"? Of course. How do they do it?
Okay. Well, I think for me personally, I try to think big in the sense of I think big, but not also entertain lesser affirmations or lesser intent. So let's say I'm saying, as a practitioner, saying, well, I really want to have 30 appointments a month. But then in the same breath, I go, well, I'd be happy with 10 or 12 just to start out. Well, guess what I'm doing? I'm setting myself up for 10 or 12.
Yes.
Not 30. So the same thing with looking for a mate. Well, I think our energy system wants to be told really precisely what it's supposed to manifest. So if you say, I'm looking for an Aquarius male with about 6'2", you know, funny, sensitive, and then like really basically picture this gentleman, like picture them mentally, whether you do it in prayer, whether you do it in meditation, or just daydreaming, whatever that case may be. And I think that's one way. Okay, is setting the intention and being very, very specific
Yes.
about what you want.
Yes. I can speak on that. I actually, back 10 years ago, I wrote down in my journal 38 qualities and characteristics. And one of them was, singing and plays guitar. And everyone was like, Lorraine, you're crazy. We don't live in Texas. But wouldn't you know, I manifested a boyfriend who sings and plays the guitar.
And piano too. I've seen him on Facebook.
So it works, guys. It totally works.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I was extremely specific, with those 38 characteristics. So is it the more, precise you are with the universe? Is that how it works?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So if it's the more precise you are with
the
like,
more
your
specific you can be.
details,
Yes. Detailed. Yes, absolutely.
I want guitar. I want singing. Right.
I want sensitive. I want yes.
Yes.
I want muscular. I want whatever.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you're looking for.
Okay. Perfect.
Absolutely. And I think it's also important that I believe very strongly that once you put the intention out there, you have to. I've been quoted as saying that the space between intention and manifestation is surrender.
Oh.
At some point, you have to say, okay, this is what I want. I know it's going to happen, but it's going to happen because of all the circumstances that are going to be put in place. Now, because we are dense physical bodies. We're not in spirit. Things take time to manifest. Think about when you're dreaming and I was just thinking about this on the way here, so I'm glad this came up. Well, maybe okay. Of course I knew that.
Of course you know. Yeah, of course you know.
Of course I knew that. But when you're dreaming, you're out of your body. So I could be in Malta in this dream and then say, gee, California would be nice. And you're there. You don't have the limitation of this density.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So my next question for you to help our audience was, how do you use your intuition to make a decision? So, for example, you want to move to another state. You want to sell your house. You want to end the marriage. You want to take a different job. How do you tune into your intuition to really make that decision?
Okay. Well, it's going to go back to I believe that we all have a spiritual team. We have spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, those people in spirit who really are working constantly in our best interest. So what I do, I just ask my team, what is it? Let's say I have a decision to make. What, do I want to, I don't know, do I want to purchase a new gong? Do I want to practice in a different location? And I literally, my question to spirit is, I'll ask my team, what is the best outcome for me? Which gong is the best one for me right now? That's reasonably priced. And again, it's very specific. And then I may or may not get the answer immediately. More times I don't. But all of a sudden I'm on the internet and
there it shows up.
There it is. Okay. The gong shows up. When I went independent as a practitioner, I was borrowing people's equipment to do sound bath meditations years ago. And when I went independent, I said, Spirit, I would love to manifest another practitioner that is fully prepared to work with me. And literally through a mutual friend, this gentleman showed up. I mean, he just appeared like within weeks. So sometimes it takes time and sometimes it happens really, really quickly. But as far as my intuition, I'm asking my team to help me.
Okay.
For sure.
Yes.
And they've been with me forever.
And just everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
We all have a team. We all have spirit guides. We may not have a relationship with them yet, but we all do.
Okay.
So, then, in Christianity, they call it guardian angels, whatever.
Yes,
I mean, you can call it what you want.
Yeah, that's another
Right.
question I have.
Okay.
But I do want to mention that my spirit guide, so last time I went to you, it was AA Ron, so we were
Yes.
joking.
Yes, of course.
Instead of Aaron, it
Key
was
appeal.
AA.
Yeah.
So my spirit guide is AA Ron.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them. So you can actually find out your spirit guides if Nick can talk to them or channel them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in a private,
name.
sure, in a private session, sure.
Yes. Okay.
Because when I'm working privately, with individuals, I mean, I literally, before I start, for those of you that, of course, you don't know because I'm not on the podcast, but my individual session starts out with a brief meditation. It goes into almost a half hour of sound healing. So I use gongs and bowls and koshi chimes and triangle pyramids and all kinds of stuff, tuning forks. And second half is actual Reiki. But from the day I learned when I was studying Reiki, as soon as I place fingertips on someone, I started getting messages. Now I always kind of felt like I had that ability. I just didn't have the avenue to like direct it. I wasn't doing readings, 30 years ago, but I knew I had something. So what I do is I literally ask my guides to collaborate with the person I'm sitting with, their guides, to work together to create a conduit for messages to be received and delivered. So
It's amazing.
that's
Yes.
and I love when people say that, and I'm not downplaying this. You say amazing, but I really want everyone to know that, because it's not like, ooh, Nick has this ability. I want people to know that everyone has this ability. Every single person. We believe that we're made in the image and likeness of God. Jesus said that, what I do, all can do. I'm here to tell you that it took me into my 60s to actually have this fully manifest, where I really, truly, fully knew what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Wow.
I had hints of it all through my life. I had, parallel. I was a band director, teacher for 36 years, but on a parallel track, I had a very, very deep spirituality. And I couldn't really put one into the other, because you really can't talk about spiritual stuff or religion in a school setting. It's just frowned upon.
Yes, definitely.
But the kids I was close with, who are now clients of mine, I kind of shared a little bit. I kind of let them in a little bit. The kids I really felt like were mature enough to understand and could handle what I told them about my past and what I did spiritually. But I think it's important to know that, what I do, anyone can do.
Okay. So
It's just having the tools.
Okay.
It's putting the time in to realize that you have the ability. Number one, it's like that's also a form of manifestation. Okay. Okay. So here's another affirmation I say on a regular basis. I am now ready to empower to the next level, the template of my life path. From this moment forth, I consecrate my life force to a life of oneness, divine love, God's infinite abundance, vibrant health, eternal youth, and everything else that supports my highest good and helps me in fulfilling my divine purpose and reason for being.
That's good. That's a long one.
It's a long one.
That's a long one.
But there's a lot of information there.
Can we share that with our listeners?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll put that in the show notes, everyone, so you can recite it. Do you have to say it aloud for it to work, or can you just say it in your mind?
You could either way.
Okay.
But the important thing is to follow up any affirmation or anything that you're looking to manifest with, this is my belief and this is my reality, because that tells every single atom, molecule, whatever you want to call them, that makes you, it tells them how to start to work.
Okay.
And it puts out energetically that thought, or those thoughts, that's a long one.
Yes.
So that all the conditions can happen to manifest.
Okay. Great. Well, we're giving them another tool in their toolbox.
Absolutely.
All right. So moving on, we'll get some other questions in here to help you guys out. So just I have a question of how do you feel better energy wise when maybe you're dealing with depression or grief, and what can you do to get yourself feeling better? You know, if you're really down and really blue,
Yeah.
are there energy tricks that they can do to get in a better space?
Yeah. Are we talking about a quick fix or something long term?
Oh yeah. Probably quick fix. Yeah.
Quick fix.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, a meditation practice.
Yes.
You know, you're looking at a person with a 40-year plus meditation practice. And back then there were no apps and cell phones. You know?
Yes.
So now there's Calm, there's Indeed, yeah, there's a bunch of them out
There's
there.
so many.
Or just go to YouTube and
Yes.
you can type in you can type in, you know, guided meditation for, you know, depression.
Yes.
It's there. It's available.
It
It's
is.
readily available.
It is. And it really works. That's what I used 10 years ago when I was going through a divorce, and I was just, you know, it was my mental Prozac, you know, it was what
Yes.
helped get me through and get out of my
Yes.
own head because it was
Yes.
so bad.
Yeah.
So I can definitely attest to meditation. And I would just do the ones, it was the guided meditations
Yeah.
with Deepak Chopra and Oprah.
Sure.
So that was 10 years ago.
That's going back. Yeah.
But now there's a new app. It's called Superhumans that has affirmations and meditations.
Okay.
But like you said, there's the tools are out there.
Yes.
But it does help reprogram your mind,
Yes.
right? So you
Yes.
don't feel so sad.
Definitely.
Is that how it works?
Well, I think, you know, depression is also a chemical reaction in your body. So while it's easy for me to say, because I've never really experienced it personally, just do something physical.
Mm-hmm.
You need a physical release of those chemicals that make you, or that electromagnetic reality of feeling that way.
Yes.
It needs to be just, I need to get rid of it.
Get it out. Yeah.
Get out, walk, do something.
Yes.
Just don't sit in. And I know it's easier said than done. So for those of you who are suffering from depression, you might say, "Well, Nick, come on, really?" You know. But I say, do it, try it.
Yes.
For
I
sure.
do too. I chose to start running to help my sadness and get that energy stuck on it. And I signed up for marathons. So you don't have to do so extreme, right? But it was my way of coping.
big.
Yeah.
Or go home.
I know, which clearly I do.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So I have a couple of other questions for you. So when someone says, and I get this a lot actually, I didn't used to as much, but now that I'm in the whole energy world, someone says, your energy is amazing. So I like to think that I give off a good vibe, good aura. You know, how can our listeners do a self-assessment? Like, what kind of vibe are you giving off and what kind of energy do you project?
Well, I think when you sense people's energy, like, wow, they have a good vibe, it's because people are vibrating at a high level, high frequency.
Yes.
And that just comes from the work that we put in individually. I just believe that if we're looking for quick fixes, I don't know. If we're looking for long term and raising our vibration, you know, it's meditation, it's, you know, seeing a practitioner, it's going to a sound bath, there's a lot involved. I don't know about a lot involved, but there are ways of raising your vibration. So it's contagious. People just sense it.
Yes.
You know, you walk into a room, you're like, wow. You like spot somebody and go, wow, that person I feel their energy because they're vibrating at a very high level. That's
Yes.
why.
And you've told me a couple times that my energy is off the charts, right?
Yes.
So yes.
Yes, I have.
So when he's done the Reiki portion, right? The energy just vibrates so much. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, it's a, you know, part of my Reiki, part of my practice, of course, is the sound healing portion. So I use two ways of gathering information about someone's energy.
Oh.
Okay, so the instruments for me give me a clue as to what chakra is not working or not moving fast enough. So especially I use tuning forks. So I really do like a body scan. And then wherever the forks, I tap them, and wherever the forks are vibrating, then that tells me that that chakra needs some work.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, people who vibrate at a high energy level, their chakras are moving in the right direction, number one, and then also moving freely and uninhibited. So that creates a high energy level, or high something that's perceivable. It is absolutely perceivable. I know that with people who I've worked with people who suffer from depression, and and I can just know. I know from first of all from the instruments that, let's say their sacral chakra. They've lost their passion for whatever it is that they were passionate with, or their root chakra. They're just not rooted or grounded. They're just moving slowly. The instruments will tell me. Okay, they vibrate a certain way, and of course, when I'm laying hands and doing Reiki, a portion, I mean, spirit just talks to me.
Okay.
Because I know you may or may not have heard it the times that I've worked with you, but after I do the sound healing portion, before I do the Reiki portion, I literally ask spirit. I just stand at your feet. I say, Spirit, just open the book on this soul that we know as Lorraine, and tell me what she needs to hear today. Tell me what's going to help her grow, what's going to help her heal.
Yes.
We all have trauma from the past. We all have it.
Yes, and you did. You gave me an amazing message that just like brought tears to my eyes, and it was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
So, which spirit delivered to you that message?
Exactly.
So I can attest to that. Yes.
So yeah. So for me, I ask again. I'm asking my guides to open the book on the person I'm working with, and please tell me, what does this person need to hear today?
Yes.
How can they grow? How can they heal?
Perfect. Well, I would love to give them some 2 tips to take with them. Maybe it's a book or something they can do to get on a higher energy frequency and to actually use the law of attraction. Do you have?
Okay. I would say self-care first.
Self-care. Yeah, I'm big on that.
Okay, I'm talking about a meditation practice. Reciting intentions, affirmations.
Okay.
I don't, I have a pile of books at my house.
Yes.
That I have like probably right now about 4 unfinished books.
That I have more than that, so I relate.
So I'm like, I almost feel like sometimes I get what I wanted out of the book by the 3/4 of the way through the book. I'm not sure if I need the rest of this, but maybe one day I'll pick it up and finish it. But I reading,
Yes.
I mean, the deep dives on the internet. There's, I mean, YouTube is just an infinite amount of information, and people are going to find stuff that resonates with them. That's how it was for me. That's how, for me to even meet my spirit guides. And when I was a very, very staunchly practicing Catholic, I lived upstairs from my parents. This is when I lived on Long Island, in Glen Cove. And my mother had a set of books, and those of you who are older might know this. It's called Butler's Lives of the Saints. And I used to read about the life of a saint every morning. That was like my morning meditation, part of my morning meditation. On March 6th, I don't recall the year. It's a very important date for me, 3/6. I opened the book, and there was St. John Joseph of the Cross. This is before I even knew I kind of knew that we had guardian angels and spirit guides. I opened the book, it's John Joseph of the Cross. I'm reading about his life, and he's talking about that he prophesied, which meant he was intuitive, psychic, medium, whatever you want to call it, that he would bilocate. People would see him in different places at the same time. I'm like, and then he spoke to me. He said, "I'm your guide."
Oh.
That's how he came to me.
Okay. As a child. Wow.
As well, no, I was married at the time.
Oh, okay.
But just married. But 3/6 was important because that's the date of my wife and I's first date.
Aww.
3/6, 3/6/76. Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Which we celebrate every year.
Yes, I know. I see on Facebook.
Of course. But that was So again, so there's ways, I mean, taking a deep dive on YouTube, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Although some people are frowned upon for sitting in front of a computer screen
Not at all.
for hours and hours. But listen, it's out there. It's out there to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I have one more question. Do you have time for one more?
I have time for
So
any you want.
I like to make it, so that relatable. So I went to Nick last time and he's like, what's going on with your lower back? So that's kind of like the root chakra area-ish. And I didn't even tell him. And my lower back has been killing me. It was killing me. And he's like, you suggested maybe some gentle yoga or something. So I started doing that and that helped a little bit. But if you can there are these energy centers, these chakras that I was talking about.
Right.
So the root chakra, lower back pain. So if someone's
Hip
having
pain.
so if someone's having hip pain or lower back pain, what does that correlate to?
Well, there's trauma from the past will reside in different areas of the body, depending on what kind of trauma it was.
But like a blocked root chakra, is that attached to like money
It's
worries?
attached to stability.
Stability. Okay.
Yeah. Long-term success. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah. And then throat chakra, right, is someone who's maybe not speaking their truth. They
Not
get
speaking the truth,
laryngitis.
or they feel like they were never heard when they were a child or an adolescent. Sure.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Heart chakra is obvious.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Right? If you don't feel loved.
If
right?
well, I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was born, I was the third child of two older brothers, and my mother wanted a girl the worst way. The worst way. When I was born, I got chills just saying it. My mother and grandmother cried for days because they wanted a girl. So even though I didn't couldn't hear or understand what was going on an energy level, I felt rejected. So my core belief about myself for the longest time was overachieving and trying to prove myself.
Yes.
My father stepped in though after the third day of them crying. He wrote a letter to my mother from me.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, did you keep the letter?
No, he didn't keep it.
Oh.
Well, she didn't keep it, but he wrote a letter to her from me saying, how could you reject me? I'm your flesh and blood. I'm your son. I love you, Mom. I'm so happy you brought me into the world. Even Dad brought me into the world. This is my father who became like Marine Corps Sergeant Al Carbuto.
Wow.
Or was Marine Corps Sergeant Al Carbuto. So I had a core belief about myself that I wasn't worthy.
Yes.
And that was definitely like lower chakras for me.
So
It took years and years of work for me to get over the fact that I really am worthy.
yes.
I really am competent. I really am okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
It just energetically it resided in my lower chakras.
Yeah.
So I had back pain most of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I hear someone say, "Oh, my back just seized up," or "My neck seized up out of nowhere," no, it didn't. I'm always like, "What's going on?" or "What happened in your childhood that you haven't resolved?"
Our soul will manifest the conditions for us to grow. It's just what it is.
Okay.
It's just the way it works.
Yeah. All right.
There's no other way.
No.
There's no getting around it. Your soul creates the circumstances for you to grow and heal. And that's where we're in. This is like life school 101.
Yes.
Okay, this is one manifestation of our soul. Our soul has many manifestations, many other lives. We could even get into past lives. That would be a whole nother situation
That
to
would
talk
be a whole
about.
another 30 minutes.
Maybe
Maybe we'll have time.
Maybe more. But our soul, we come into this existence. I believe that our soul sets up certain situations over a lifetime. So some people say, well, are these things predetermined? And to some degree, yes. But we do have free will.
Free will, yes.
So when Judy came along in my life, I could have said, no, I'm not interested. but I knew I loved her. I mean, it was just like an overwhelming, like I knew that this was the person I want to spend that was going to spend the rest of my life with.
Yes.
Um,
And Judy's his wife, for those
Judy's
who don't
my
know.
wife.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
They're like, who's
Yes.
Judy?
She's awesome. She's awesome.
She is awesome.
She really is. So yeah, the soul sets up these situations for us to grow
Yes.
and heal.
And on that note, I'm reading a book that you said you've read. It's The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukov, and it's amazing.
The best.
So if you want to learn more about this, your soul, and break it down, that's a great book.
Absolutely. I've read about 3 books from him.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it's always the same message. He just clothes it differently.
That's
for
fun.
sure. Yeah, it is. Great.
So how can people find you? Let's give a plug. And June 2nd. Oh, yes. Tell them about June 2nd.
June 2nd.
I was at the one in May, and it was amazing.
This Sunday, I'm hosting a sound bath meditation. I don't do it alone. I do it with 2 other practitioners. So you get the benefit of lots of instruments, lots of a vast array of instruments. So that's at Latham Center for the Arts. Maybe you can put the Eventbrite link in the comments.
In the show notes.
Yes, that was cool. Thank you.
Our show manager will help me. But it's every Sunday.
Every other month.
Every other month. Okay.
Here in the capital
June.
region. But every other month I do it on Long Island as well.
Okay.
So whoever's seeing this, wherever you're located, I do 1 month is here in the capital region, and the next month will be on Long Island.
Okay.
Yes.
So June in
June
Latham,
2nd in
and
Latham.
then August Latham, and
Right.
Glen
It'll be
Cove
every other
is
month.
July. Okay, perfect. Just in case they're watching from afar.
Yes.
Who knows?
Of course.
And they can also book an individual session with
Yes.
you, right? Which I have gone to twice. My mom has gone to a few times, and my friend Janae. So I'm just spreading the word all about you.
Thank
because
you.
it's
Appreciate that.
amazing, the intuitive messages.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to working with people.
Yes.
I really am. It's a calling. It's something I knew about from when I was very, very young. I just didn't know how it was going to look. I really didn't. I had experiences as a child I couldn't explain, and now I know why.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's real.
But so I'll put my contact information in the show notes for
Yes.
sure. But
Absolutely.
you will.
Yes.
And you can
I
reach
think
me
it's all
for
good.
sure.
Perfect. All right. Anything else you want to tell them before we leave? No? They got the message. Send them light. Right?
But I just thank you so much for having
Thank
me as
you.
your guest, and I would be ecstatic to hear someone who listens to this and watches this and gets something out of it that's really meaningful and useful.
Yes, that's our intention, right? That's our
Exactly.
goal. is to help.
Exactly, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
So thank you.
for having me.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. To stay connected to me, please visit my website at chooseahappyday.com. And at the bottom, just sign up for my email list to be notified of any upcoming events, book launches, as well as new podcasts. Until next time, have a happy day.